Speaker B.J. Cruz and Governor Eddie Calvo have been going back and forth over the governor's bill to raise GRTs and borrow $125 million on the bond market to fund the modernization of the GUAM Memorial Hospital. Today, Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. offered a compromise he hopes will break the stalemate. Governor Eddie Calvo has been urging Speaker B.J. Cruz to hold a public hearing for Bills 141 and 142. Bill 141 authorizes the government to borrow $125 million on the bond market in order to fund the modernization of the GUAM Memorial Hospital. Bill 142 would raise the gross receipts tax, or business privilege tax, from 4% to 4.75%. Yesterday, Speaker B.J. Cruz wrote a letter to the governor saying that he would not hold a public hearing on the bond borrowing bill without voter approval of the proposed tax hike. The speaker cited GUAM law that says all tax increases must be approved by a voter referendum. The governor then responded to the speaker saying that the speaker should schedule a public hearing, quote, on these important health care bills that have languished at the legislature since July, end quote. He also wants the speaker to allow a public hearing to listen to the input of the people before making a decision and to vote the bills up or down, quote, without passing tough decisions on revenue enhancements back to the very people who elected you to make these tough decisions, end quote. The governor wrote a letter to the speaker saying that over the years, the speaker has personally authored and supported bills that increased sin taxes, property taxes, liquid fuel taxes, and limited gaming taxes, quote, without the consent of the public, end quote. This is something that Speaker Cruz readily admits. In fact, he told PNC yesterday that he is guilty of increasing taxes in the past, but has now made it a point to begin letting the people of Guam vote on tax increases as is prescribed in Guam law. The speaker responded to the governor's renewed push for him to hold a public hearing with a one-line letter that reads, quote, with all due respect and for the reasons I have already stated, my offer stands whenever you decide to take it, end quote. Today, Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. chimed in with what he believes might be a suitable compromise. The senator issued a press release saying that by ending the industry exemptions on the payment of the gross receipts tax, they could borrow the money necessary for the hospital without having to raise taxes to fund the bond payments. Senator Rodriguez says that the amount of money that will be generated, quote, when certain industries begin paying their fair share of taxes is similar to the amount that would be raised if the GRT was raised to 4.75%, end quote. The senator says one of the biggest pieces of criticism from the public was raising the GRT when other companies don't pay any. Senator Rodriguez says his office and the governor's fiscal team will work together over the next week to come up with a new piece of legislation that he believes will reach the necessary compromise that will allow for the overhaul and modernization of the GUAM Memorial Hospital. Essentially, the new bill will still allow the governor to borrow $125 million on the bond market for the hospital, but it will swap out a GRT increase with the closure of exemptions on mature industries. Senator Rodriguez says that they will leave in exemptions for cottage or budding industries of small businesses.